Welcome to Lesson 3 of our Mastering Time Management series. In our previous sessions, we explored the foundations of time management and the essential skills needed to succeed. Today, we're taking a practical turn by examining specific techniques you can start using immediately. Think of these as the actual tools in your time management toolkit, proven methods that countless professionals, students, and leaders use daily to maximize their productivity and reduce stress. By the end of this session, you'll have 5 powerful techniques to experiment with and adapt to your unique needs. We're building on what we've learned so far, moving from understanding what time management is and the skills it requires to the practical techniques that put those skills into action. Today we'll explore 5 proven methods: the Pomodoro Technique for focused work, the Eisenhower Matrix for prioritization, time blocking for structured planning, the 2-minute rule for handling small tasks, and SMART goals for effective planning. Each technique addresses different time management challenges, and the beauty is that you can mix and match them based on your specific needs. As we explore each one, consider which might best address your current challenges. The Pomodoro Technique, named after the tomato-shaped kitchen timer its creator used, is brilliantly simple yet effective. You work in focused 25-minute intervals, take short breaks, and then repeat. I've seen this transform the work habits of chronic procrastinators and multitaskers alike. A software developer I coached used this to tackle complex coding problems. Breaking her work into Pomodoros helped her maintain focus without burning out. The magic lies in its psychological effect. Knowing you only need to focus for 25 minutes makes starting easier, and the timer creates a sense of urgency that keeps you engaged. It's particularly powerful for tasks requiring deep concentration. The Eisenhower Matrix, named after President Dwight Eisenhower, helps you make better decisions about what deserves your attention first. By categorizing tasks based on their urgency and importance, you gain clarity about what truly matters. A marketing executive I worked with discovered she was spending 70% of her time in Quadrant 3, urgent but unimportant tasks, while neglecting strategic planning in Quadrant 2. By deliberately scheduling time for important but non-urgent work, she transformed her department's performance. This technique is especially valuable when you feel overwhelmed by competing demands or when you need to quickly assess incoming requests. Remember, living in Quadrant 1 is stressful, while Quadrant 2 is where growth happens. Time blocking transforms your calendar from a record of meetings into a strategic plan for your entire day. Instead of working from a to-do list and hoping things fit somewhere, you proactively assign specific tasks to specific time blocks. A university professor I mentored used this technique to balance research, teaching, and administrative duties, dedicating mornings to writing, afternoons to meetings, and specific days to focused research. The structure creates freedom by eliminating the constant decision of, what should I work on next? It's particularly effective for people juggling multiple responsibilities or roles. The key is treating these blocks as appointments with yourself that deserve the same respect as meetings with others. The 2-minute rule, popularized by productivity expert David Allen, is deceptively simple yet powerful. If something takes less than 2 minutes, do it now rather than later. This prevents small tasks from accumulating into overwhelming backlogs. A sales manager I coached applied this to email management, immediately handling quick responses rather than repeatedly reviewing the same messages. The technique also helps overcome procrastination on larger projects by focusing on just the first 2-minute action. For instance, you might not write an entire report in 2 minutes, but you can create the document and write the first paragraph. This builds momentum that often carries you further into the task than you expected. SMART goals transform vague intentions into actionable plans. Instead of improve my time management, a SMART goal would be complete my daily priority tasks before noon for the next 3 weeks. A project manager I worked with used this framework to turn a struggling initiative around, replacing general objectives with specific, measurable targets that the team could track daily. The power of SMART goals lies in their clarity and accountability. When you define exactly what success looks like and by when, you eliminate ambiguity and create focus. This technique is particularly valuable for longer-term projects or personal development objectives where progress might otherwise be difficult to measure. Each technique we've explored addresses different aspects of time management. The Pomodoro Technique tackles focus and concentration challenges, perfect when you need to dive deep into complex work. The Eisenhower Matrix helps with decision-making and prioritization, ideal when you're overwhelmed with competing demands. Time blocking creates structure and protects time for important activities, excellent for balancing multiple responsibilities. The 2-minute rule streamlines execution and builds momentum, perfect for managing small tasks and overcoming procrastination. And SMART goals provide direction and clarity, essential for long-term planning and achievement. Consider which areas challenge you most currently. That's likely where you should start experimenting. The real power comes when you combine these techniques into a personalized system. For example, you might use the Eisenhower Matrix on Monday mornings to prioritize your week, then create time blocks in your calendar for those priorities. Within those blocks, you might use the Pomodoro Technique to maintain focus, while applying the 2-minute rule throughout the day for quick tasks that arise. Meanwhile, SMART goals could guide your monthly planning. A finance director I coached created exactly this combination, resulting in a 40% increase in her team's productivity. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach. The best system is one you'll actually use consistently, so start simple with just 1 or 2 techniques before adding more. Now comes the most important part, putting these techniques into practice. This week, identify your biggest time management challenge, then select at least 2 techniques that might address it. For example, if you struggle with procrastination, try the Pomodoro Technique and the 2-minute rule. Use them consistently for at least 3 days, then reflect on what worked and what didn't. A software team I trained experimented with time blocking for focused coding sessions and found it transformed their productivity, but only after adjusting the block lengths to match their workflow. Your experience will be unique to you. The key is to approach this as an experiment. Try, reflect, refine, and try again. What technique will you start with today?